You're the star of the show.
Yep, the new star of the show. You gotta move your feet.
I think we should know. We have to put Misha.
Oh my god.
Alrighty.
You was blocking my way forward just like a grumpy old troll. Just about the minute I was flying, and you was looking at the clock. I'll beat your ass at anything, y'all be off your rock. I'ma close this deal and let her feel it's about time we talk. Take my shoes for a walk, and then hear my name more than Tupac. Tryna mess with me, homie, you be underage at TikTok.
We're back. Welcome to another episode of the Lil Grain of Bryce podcast. This is episode 003. We have a good episode in for you today. Hopefully the whole 50 minutes, the whole shebang. No camera errors. Let's get it. First, we're going to talk about this game that we all like to call Fall Guys. Fall Guys is an incredible Steam game that you yourself can play. I sound like an advertisement. Let's get right over to Cabana Alicia.
The game sucks. You guys should stop playing it. I can't fucking deal with the nonsense that happens in that game.
For those of you that don't know, Fall Guys is a game that basically you just try to complete a bunch of challenges and survive and be the last one after like 5 challenges. Some of them are like races, some of them are survival, some of them are like based on teams.
Kind of like the TV show Wipeout, if you've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's a battle royale, 60 people. There's a bunch of mini games that people do to get first place, and only one person wins.
Yeah.
And there's different mini games, like maybe there'll be a team mini game or a solo. There's a mix of things you can do.
But the reason it's so addicting is because it's also like as easy it is to like grasp and the concept. It's so rage-inducing, and many times I find myself either getting ready to throw my mouse across the room or going over to my mouse that I just threw across the room and picking up the remains. So,
But also, it's like, it looks so easy, and to a certain extent it feels so easy, but it's kind of hard at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's very, very, very hard if you're Bryce.
yeah. I would definitely give it a try, though. It's definitely worth your time.
Don't fall into it. Don't.
But
Don't do it.
oh,
Yeah, it looks like a kid's game, but like due to everyone being super competitive,
It's gonna
makes
be
the
the new
game
Flappy
way
Guys.
harder than they probably
Also-
meant.
Floppy Birds, dude.
Flappy Guys.
Someone's gonna do something really dumb. Guaranteed.
they're
It's gonna be banned off the internet.
yeah, they're having problems with hackers and bugs and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
Recently.
Then you got someone was flying and
Yeah,
grabbed
there's
you.
this one
Alright,
stage called Slime Climb, and then right when I got to the end, there's some dude just sitting there waiting, and he's just like flying around, and he picks me up, and he like picks me up slowly, goes off the edge, and just drops me.
And keep in mind, you can't actually fly in the game. That's hacking. They
Yeah.
hack the game just to make him lose.
Just a mess with
He's so upset.
poor Eugene. As funny as it is, I would definitely give the game a try. It's our new addiction, for sure. Well, maybe not all of us. Poor Kawan.
Stick to Warzone.
I'm gonna segue into our next topic. How are you guys doing so far with online classes?
Dude, they're stressful, right, Kevon?
They're very stressful, dude.
I wake up every day. It's like, fuck, I gotta do an online class again.
Yeah. You don't even. Yeah.
Screw that.
I don't know, in my opinion, like, obviously it's not ideal. I mean,
How about this?
like,
This is a deep discussion. What do you think about an online class being worth as much as a class? Like, there's a lot of students out there right now complaining that their tuition should be lowered because they're not getting a full education.
yeah.
I actually, unfortunately, have to disagree.
It's the same information.
Well, not only is it the same information, but it's the same credit.
Yeah.
So, it's not really, if you flip the coin, it's not really fair to the campus. If they're giving you the credit for the class, I don't know if you should be discounted.
Maybe they
Well, I
just
feel
want
like it
that college
depends on, like-
experience.
I
Yeah.
feel like it depends on the type of class.
Yeah.
Cause like,
Well,
like,
for sure.
Cause like nursing, like certain things are like hands-on. Like
Yeah.
when you go in for and like
clinical
mess with like
stuff.
the dolls and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, for labs and everything, but you knew that going in,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, but like, yeah.
It was
Like,
supposed to be
I would
face-to-face
never
though.
have taken a lab specifically.
Yeah. I had to take one. I had an experimental class, and I had to do my experiment online. It was miserable.
How do you even do
I mean,
a
sometimes
lab?
It does it like so I did most of the experimenting beforehand because it was last semester, but at the very end of it, I still need to do a little bit more testing, get a couple more participants, but I obviously wasn't able to without it. I had to do it online. As like a lot of variables have changed, so I ended up just having a smaller sample size.
Did a lot of people like pass the class?
I mean, yeah, for the most part. I mean,
Okay.
he was obviously like, well, some of you guys probably didn't finish, so he made it lenient. But the fact, like, obviously education was kind of worsened because of the fact you can't completely finish the experiment. Like for me, I did it ahead of time. Some people didn't even start it. Like didn't even start. They couldn't even do it.
Yeah.
They had to figure out just doing something online, or I don't know what everyone did.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit more challenging than like if you're trying to do like a lab, it's already like hard, and then to not even like be there like for like with classmates or like not even be able to like talk to your teacher. A lab would only be that much more challenging. I can imagine being like, yo, I had a C and now I'm just gonna flunk because I can't be there.
Same with like, I mean, this may sound biased. I mean, like I said, I don't really draw. I don't really care about drawing and painting.
Yeah.
But like you can't, cause like it's hands on.
Yeah.
Like stroke marks and stuff, and like if your teacher's there like in person that can come help you and like show you how to like properly do it.
Yeah.
It's like different than in person or than online.
Yeah.
And also, I can say for asking questions in general, anything like you have an online class, a lot of people don't want to ask questions online because maybe the teacher's talking, and I mean, like most of the time you'd raise your hand, but on Zoom, a lot of times you can't really. Yeah, no one talks. No one really raises their hand. And there's a little button to raise your hand.
You know why?
But a lot of teachers don't really look at it. It's a lot more.
You know what's crazy?
Real quick, also like on Zoom call, like if you click a button to like raise your hand, wouldn't you have to like ask in front of the whole class?
Yeah.
Because like,
it's
but,
like,
like in person, you can just be like, "Oh, hey, professor," and they would.
Or you can like direct message the teacher.
Well, here's the thing. That a lot of kids. We were talking about this in my communication class last year. She was like, "Why is it that when we're in class we can talk so well, but then it's like over Zoom we all decide to just shut down?" And it's because I bet you $1,000. It's because when you talk, your screen is what pops up on the thing. Like everyone can see your face when you're talking. It's like you're at the front of the class presenting instead of like, you know, just a part of the audience, like having your hand up and like, hey, real quick, like I got this and this to. Yeah, right. It's like focused in on you, and then suddenly you're now the focal point of like the class.
Turns into public speaking.
And then it's just like, I'd rather just figure out how to do astrophysics by myself. I don't want this embarrassment.
Just like center of attention. This guy doesn't know something.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's like it's different when you're asking a question because you're not used to just like imagine walking up to the front of the class every time you had a question. Hey, I didn't understand how to do this algebra problem. I know that's very specific for me and like personally, but I couldn't imagine doing that, like struggling in algebra, going up to the front of the class and be like, I'm struggling with this. Like that would suck.
Yeah, and I know a lot of times
Especially
for me,
people like you
at the very end of the class, I'll ask a professor a question by myself, a personal question, but something like Zoom that doesn't work too well. I guess you could be like in front of the whole class, be like, hey, I want to talk to you at the end of the class. But for the most of the time, you kind of just like, well, I gotta like send an email or something, and it's not the same.
Yeah.
I'd hate to send
Well, they have online office hours.
Yeah, emails are annoying because like, oh, you like have a question, you ask the question, the professor answers, and then it's just like, oh wait, but that didn't completely answer, so then I have to send another small question.
It's just like,
oh, there's been so many times I asked a question but didn't directly answer what I was asking, and maybe it's because I didn't frame the question correctly, whatever. And I'm like, I kind of want to re-ask it because it'll be like,
like you didn't fully understand. That was a problem on our for our history class. Someone would ask a question like in the chat, and then the teacher would like type this whole like essay, and then you'd be like, oh crap, I still don't quite understand it, but now I feel bad that he has to re-explain it to me. Like, I was like, maybe I just won't ask it, and then in turn you don't learn the material, and then you're just like screwed. Definitely challenging times. But
this is a new age, and
according to the experts developing the COVID-19 vaccine, it should be ready before we know it. They are talking early November.
We'll see.
2 million
I don't
people will have
believe
it.
Well,
I don't
the
know.
good thing
We'll
is,
see.
it'll happen
We're
before we
supposed to get
know it,
another
so it'll
peak.
happen before November. Just
Yeah, before October 31st, Halloween night, they're gonna give them out. Here's the COVID-19.
And the candies.
We're gonna get another peak of it though.
what if something like
We're gonna get murdered again by the COVID.
What do
We're
you?
gonna absolutely destroy.
that's only if
When do you
people
think
are
that's
another
gonna
wave.
happen?
continuing to be dumb.
They think
Dude, we're not done with the first wave.
Yeah,
We're still peaking.
See, they're not trying. Like everyone's partying still in like Florida and everywhere.
yeah.
college parties.
I mean, it's a type of thing. It's a group effort, and obviously most people aren't even actually like trying to keep it going, so it's a disaster.
Yeah.
For this to actually be in control, it has to be everyone contributing, but no one is. And then people, those
Including
same
us.
people
Stop
will
arguing
complain
that.
about it. Be like,
Yeah.
why is it so bad? Well,
We're an
you're
exception.
We're not hypocrites because we all work together. We're all in the same environment
Dimitri.
anyway. What do you
He
mean?
doesn't work with us,
He's
Yeah,
already
we're
had.
always
He,
together,
had
bruh.
he already had COVID.
apparently.
No,
Apparently.
no, we pretty much know that he's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
He
Maybe
was
me
good,
and Owen
apparently.
had it before because we were
Yeah.
sick.
You guys did not have
we
it.
were done, bruh. No.
We were sick for like 2 weeks straight.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I was done.
Remember in March I got
Yes, I
obliterated. Like I couldn't.
Was
Even,
that
after
before?
the bike? After you biked?
after I biked, dude, that was bad. I couldn't even like open my mouth to eat food or anything.
Was that before Calari?
That was
That
after.
was
After?
Well, maybe it's pot because we all. It seems like we
I was
got it.
actually obliterated.
But then how would?
I don't know.
There's
What,
no way that you got it and then I didn't.
Well, no, not
I don't
everyone
know what
shows
I got, but-
symptoms.
That's
There's
yeah,
actually
that's
some-
crazy. Maybe I didn't.
Some people actually don't show any
I might have been
symptoms.
anti-symptomatic.
It's
Yeah.
asymptomatic, not
I don't know why I said
anti-symptomatic.
anti.
It's, like my brother Alex, he didn't have much symptoms at all.
Yeah.
And then Anya, she still ran. Like, if it was hard for her to run, she's like, she could definitely tell her running was hard.
Yeah.
But she still managed to run like 10 miles.
So now it's like quarantine day. What? 500 something.
I don't understand. I haven't been keeping track. Like,
Yeah, I stopped a while ago when it
Because
was
like, there's no point.
Isn't it 7?
No one's
6 months?
Not many people are quarantining anymore.
Well, do you think there are people
Because
still?
technically-
Yeah. Do you think there are still people out there that are just like 100% quarantined?
Pat,
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
like actually, like he has not changed at all.
I mean, I think there are some, like, my grandparents
I don't know
haven't
if
left us.
it's-
I think it depends some people.
That's scary. I
Like
would
your
go
risk.
You know,
crazy.
Pat doesn't drive or anything.
Like, if you're at risk or you know someone that's at risk, most likely you're still taking this seriously. But also it depends on what kind of knowledge you're getting about corona. Like, if
Yeah.
you're just like, if you know someone that got it, maybe you got really sick or something, you might be more careful than someone like you don't know anyone that's gotten it. You're probably gonna be partying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on the people that like the whole environment.
I was at
That's bad.
Walmart like this when it's like the COVID stuff started to happen, and everyone was wearing masks obviously, but this old couple, they were like 80, walking around with no mask on and nothing. They were like, it's bad, dude.
Yeah, I see that all the time when I'm
Yeah,
working
That's
at
a
Walmart.
recipe
That's
for
like-
disaster.
I
Yeah.
feel like old people just don't give a shit.
Well, yeah, when I work at Walmart, it's actually frequently I'll see like an
Not
older
all.
older
Most of
couple or
them.
something just not wearing a mask. Everyone's wearing a mask. They don't wear a mask, or like they have it all the way down where it's just like on their neck, and they just walk around the store like they don't care. I see it very frequently. I'm just like, one of the biggest reasons we are doing is for susceptible population like you,
Yeah.
and you're not wearing masks. You're like,
Yeah, it's kind of a spit in the face to the whole principle. Like,
yeah,
save the people that are susceptible. Just do your part. And then it's like the people that are susceptible. It was like
Yeah.
a 90-year-old smoker, no mask,
Yeah.
like coughing into the candy aisle. And you're just like, oh,
yeah.
well, what the hell am I doing it for? It's
Yeah.
And then
like-
they get mad at you for not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, I
what are
hate
you
that.
doing,
I
dude?
feel like with the rise of this pandemic, like, it's causing us, or in general, I think people are noticing other people not being as cleanly as
Yeah.
like we normally would notice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like I went to the bathroom today, and when I had to like wait for some guy to wash his hands. And he literally just like turned the water on. and just
No
left.
way.
Yeah, he didn't use soap. He just like water, paper towel, and then left.
I mean, so if I'm in a hurry, my go-to is just the Germac. Like if I'm just like in a hurry, just
Yeah,
like okay,
antibiotics.
I'm not gonna wash my hands. Germax the fuck out of my hands, bro. But like to just like water and then probably on his way out, and then like push the
I don't-
door
the
open.
door
I don't
handle.
touch the door handles. I use
Oh
paper
my
towel. I just
god.
But the thing about that, not
use your foot.
Use your
pull
foot.
it.
Yeah. It's actually a new strategy.
I
It
kick
was
the door
covered
open
in
when I
like
go in the...
grease.
Yeah, I just kick
fries.
it. I
just,
kick
like,
the
use
door.
my
See the footprints?
See, I don't put footprints on
Dude.
there, so I use my.
The other day at work, this girl,
Boom.
there was like a bee, and she used her like shoe to kill the bee, and it like squashed it in like this like grease-filled footprint was just in the drive-through like window for like an hour, and
Was
she
it a
didn't tell
worker?
anybody, and it was just like,
Worker?
yes. I was like, what are you doing? So I killed the bee. I saw it like on my way back. I was like, what is that? Because she was on back window. So nobody goes in back window except for the back window person.
I mean, the manager's supposed to.
Obviously, that's why I was there. I was giving her a finger for a big bill or something. Anyway,
But Eugene, your point of like not noticing, like before the corona, people probably wouldn't even care about someone just not using soap to wash their hands. But now everyone's just like,
I mean, they would
looking
care,
at
but they
this.
wouldn't like think twice. You
yeah,
know what
like
I mean?
it would be that big, like it's whatever. But now if someone does, you're like, oh my god,
Yeah,
Yeah.
You dumb?
see, like,
Are you
at work,
stupid?
at work, like, you have to wear gloves. Like, before COVID, and you have to wear gloves all the time. Even though certain people don't wear gloves all the time, it's kind of dumb.
yeah.
Come on.
I hate
But,
wearing gloves when I'm on fry station, dude.
Why? It's
It's already a
easier.
hot position, and putting gloves on makes me want to like punch something because I hate being hot.
But anyway, like,
Like, my hands just turn into like a
it's
swamp.
been so long since we've had to
It's
wear
like-
gloves and all this.
Yeah.
It's
That
like
I actually started to forget, like, what positions, like, you wouldn't have to wear gloves.
I
on.
always.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, I asked Kevon one day. It was a dumb question, but I was like, "Wait, did we put gloves on when we made sandwiches in the past?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you would.
No.
He wears gloves
No.
for when he does dishes.
Yeah, I do any.
I
do
can't
too.
imagine that.
Gotta be
Why?
protected.
That's dumb.
Protection.
Yeah,
That
when
makes
I'm
more
Water
sense.
just gets in your gloves. How do you
No,
wear
it
gloves?
feels good.
Yeah, when
No,
I worked in a restaurant, I always wear
Yeah.
gloves, even for
Yeah,
dishes.
that's for a while.
Exactly.
Like,
You gotta
I
be-
definitely would not
Extra
do that.
layer of protection.
That's
means
a
it's
waste.
Shitty water.
No.
It's
It's
not.
not be a
If it's
bitch.
if you're good at your
It's
job.
So, you,
No, you gotta
can
do
just
it.
wash your hands after you do the dishes.
Nah, bruh.
I wash my hands
It's
in the
so-
dishes, which is you're not supposed to do. Maybe we should cut.
What? You wash your hands and it's just like.
You know, I pee in the dishes.
Yeah. Sometimes I just need to go to the bathroom. I just do it in the dishes.
Sometimes I need to take a bath. I just hop in the.
Yeah.
We had a worker one time. He used to go back and spit in the mop sink. Do you remember that?
Ew.
Ew.
Was this at Edinburgh?
No, this is at I-90.
Oh.
Bruh. That's
But like you remember the mop sink?
Yeah.
He would just go back there and he'd be like, "Tuh," and be like covered in like saliva.
That's
Like after
disgusting.
4 hours of just spitting in the mop sink, and be like, "You're the most disgusting human."
At least
I've
it's
ever
not.
met."
At least he doesn't
It
do
would just
dip.
pile up.
Yeah.
All his spit. That's
Imagine if he was
so
doing
gross.
dip and he was doing that.
It was so nasty. I
Tobacco
wouldn't put it
and
past
not
him.
I saw some.
How do you spit that much? Like,
Some guy.
It was like every 15 minutes. He's like, "I'm gonna gotta take a spit." I was like,
You gotta take a
I was
spit.
like, "Can't you just control yourself?" Like, oh, wow, there we go. My saliva glands aren't as full now that I've sucked it down my
Maybe you don't know
gullet.
what circumstances. Maybe he has some problem where he needs to spit.
Nah,
You
he's
don't
just
know.
douche.
I mean,
never
I'm
know.
pretty sure people who do tobacco just like.
Yeah, that's just it's like
maybe
a
they actually get
habit.
the habit.
And maybe he does not doing tobacco at work, but he still has that spitting habit. Yeah.
Like I
my-
saw some guy in the
my
drive-thru
green.
the other day. He was like all you saw was like black, like.
Ah.
It wasn't his teeth. It was just like that jam-packed with tobacco.
Ooh, nice.
One guy through drive-thru, he gave his friend his spit bottle. Like, it was so disgusting. It was
Ew.
filled with chew spit, and he
Gave
just
it to a
handed it to
worker?
his friend.
Oh,
It was nasty.
so gross.
That is how you
Yeah.
jumpstart a vomit. If any one of you did that to me, I'd be like, all right, here we
Wait,
go.
didn't you have to pick up
Open
gum?
your mouth. But
Didn't someone spit gum in your hand?
in my hand.
No, a customer, like, she wanted to give you something, but it was a piece of gum instead.
Yeah, it was like in a napkin and it fell out of the napkin on my hand. But no, she didn't spit it. That would
Yeah,
be
like,
horrible.
hey.
She'd be like, hey, by the way, I got something for you. I'd be like, oh yeah? I'd be like,
I don't know if you guys. Have
I'd run out, punch her car.
I don't know if you guys have had to deal with it, but I've dealt with it before. Like, come on, remember we used to do in back window all the time?
Yeah.
In like good old days. There's been like times where I remember this lady in particular. She would come in with her debit card and like it would be in her mouth and she'd be like doing stuff and then she gives it to me.
Yeah,
Like,
my mom was.
I don't want to touch that. It's in your mouth.
Yeah, my mom was just saying that the people in the library do that all the time. They're just like they like put it in their mouth and then they like wiggle their teeth and then they're like here you go, and like a string of like
Ew.
spit just like comes
It's
out
like
with it.
dripping with saliva.
I hate when girls pull up the debit card from their boobs. That's so disgusting.
That's a nationwide problem, dude. It's not just a few.
You're like, here you go. It's like, no, thank
Yeah.
you.
It's like a lollipop from Christmas Eve, a
Ew.
$40 bill. Oh, I didn't even know they made those. And it's like all this like just random junk. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I worked at Gabe's, that was so freaking. You have like they keep all their cash in their bra and just pull it out.
Yeah.
There's one that she had a whole bunch of ones. She kept pulling out her bra. It's like, okay, I wonder what she was working on. A whole bunch of ones.
And there's those like hard workers with those giant crusty hands. Sometimes they're
Oh
like
yeah.
a white man, but then their hands are literally black.
I feel bad for
To
them
wash
actually,
it.
because they're just like they're just like calloused and like destroyed, and then they're just like,
There's this one guy
Here
who
you
comes in.
go.
I call him Dino Hands because like his hands are literally. I mean, they're like each finger's like that thick,
wow.
and then they're just so plastic. They look like plaster. Like his hands are so dry and
Mm.
flaky. It's so gross.
Just gotta use some lotion.
Good job. Trying to think of a segue into our next topic.
Just gotta go.
It's okay, Bryce. You can think of a way to get into the next topic, or you can just jump into the next topic. We'll wait for you.
Did you have anything?
I
I was asking. Open discussion. as
did
we go.
earlier, but then we started talking about certain topics.
Yeah. How about the Tesla just released? I guess how like their new numbers or their new projections for the year. If I were a millionaire, I would invest literally every dollar I had into Tesla stock.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy.
I can't imagine what it's gonna be 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Oh
But I mean, one thing you can always
Are
see,
you
like you never
investing
know.
now into-
no, I don't have that kind of money to just.
Just do $10.
Yeah.
That doesn't do
$10 is-
anything.
Small.
I
You
need
do
like
stuff.
a
Would you
good-
rather do $10 or do nothing?
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know
start
why?
small.
Come on, after taxes and stuff, you won't make any.
How about
money.
you save that $10 to buy gas, and then once you have the money to buy Tesla shares, then you can go do it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like right now, say if I won the lottery, hey, just even like a little one, like a $10,000 lot, bam, I put $10,000 into the stock market, all for Tesla,
Well, the thing about doing
and then
that.
you can come visit me in my yacht 5 years from now. Be like, me and Elon,
Or
we're
you're
best
gonna do
buds.
$10 now and then put that $10,000 in there.
Yeah, but I don't.
But I mean, the Bryce, the thing about it is you never know. Like one
Yeah.
thing Tesla could do wrong, the stocks could tank. It might never ever go back to what it once was, and you lost a ton of money. Like that's the one thing about stocks. You never be like, oh, this will surely be on top. Things
Yeah.
happen all the time. Like big companies have died. It's
Yeah.
happened very.
I just I know the freak stories of like people who bought Apple when it was just starting,
Yeah.
or like Amazon when it was just starting up. Like, yeah, here's just a little bit, and now they're literally like the richest people in the
Yeah.
world
My
because they
brother's
made a good decision all those years ago. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
yeah, my brother's been investing a lot in like cryptocurrency and stuff. He thinks it's gonna be the next thing. I mean, it has been on the rise, but I'm like, and then he kind of keeps trying to convince me to. I'm like, I mean, it'd be kind of cool if like because Bitcoin blew up before it was super cheap. Now, well, how much is it for one coin? It's like a couple thousand.
I think it's like 6,000.
Yeah, and like the next thing he's going like XRP Ripple, and he says that's gonna be the next one. And I'm like, I mean, shit, he bought it for like 50 cents. If it does like double, triple, he would make so much because he's put a couple $1,000s and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it'd be crazy to make money, but like you never know. He might lose all it all. Like
Yeah.
one day he wakes up, all of it's gone. But he could be like
That'd be so
a
mad.
billionaire. So it's that's
Yeah.
one thing about it. I don't know. It's
so hit and miss. But I feel like
Yeah.
Tesla's one of those things where it's like the strong horse.
yeah.
It's not like the fast horse where it's like, oh man, I mean he could really take off, but
Yeah.
oh crap, he might run too fast and break his leg.
Mhm.
I feel like Tesla's more like the horse you put your money into, and it's just gonna keep on chugging
Yeah.
and chugging and chugging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially knowing Elon Musk, like
He's
this
doing
guy does
good.
not give up. He keeps going. He's had so many mistakes, but
Yeah.
he keeps going. He does it. Like there's been so many times he's released something. It was a complete disaster.
I mean that's the kind of thing that's just like eats away at me every now and then. Just like, oh, I could be buying stocks. But hey, working at Wendy's isn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
I just
There's worse.
Yeah, especially when
Out there somewhere.
Or dude, you can spend $35,000 on a new car.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah, my cousin decided to spend $35,000 on a car.
such as the new Ford Bronco.
that's
Wait,
not $30,000.
The new Ford
Yeah, I
Bronco is
know.
what? How much is it?
I don't know,
It's
but
like-
60,000.
60?
60,000.
yeah,
or
but what do you
something
guys
like
think
that.
about that?
I think it's nice. It's competition for Jeep.
I remember we've mentioned it before, and
For a
Kavan
truck.
was just like, "Oh, it's the Jeep Ford." I actually think it looks pretty cool.
I think it looks
just
better
like
than the Jeep.
can't.
I like it better.
I mean, I obviously wouldn't be buying
gonna
something like that
outperform a
anytime
Jeep,
soon.
though.
Yeah.
So it's not my cup of tea. You know, like I would never go out and buy it, even if I had the money. Yeah, like it's not the sporty look.
It's off-roading car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not an off-roading kind of guy, but I could see like how
You should
other
try to
people
take
would
your
like.
BMW off-roading.
My it would literally like
It just gets stuck in the
boom, boom, boom,
ground.
boom, boom. Local kid
I
dies
I
in
want
an
to get a
explosion.
Cybertruck.
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 Cut people in
I
half.
have no
Yeah.
desire to get
See,
that
the
either.
Cybertruck is
Why?
interesting, but it's
It
just
looks
like,
like
it doesn't.
it looks like a toddler
It just looks
design,
like a
like the
block.
outside,
Yeah.
But the inside.
the inside.
Next,
It's kind of it's like
I
a weird
remember-
idea. You try to make it look more like futuristic looking, but like I think that's the issue. People aren't really like.
Well, no, it's just like
Why
I
does
think
it
it was.
matter
It's
what
like
you
ahead of
buy?
its time. You see
Yeah.
the Mercedes thing, the Mercedes like Avatar concept or whatever, where it's like it's got like glass
There's
doors.
no steering wheel.
Yeah, and it's like it's controlled by like the mini, and it can like
door.
Yeah.
yeah, and like it can like the wheels can turn like 30 degrees, and like it can travel like this way,
Yeah.
like around curves to like save gas.
See, like
How
that makes
fast is
sense
it
why
go?
people would want to buy something like the
It's fast
Cybertruck.
enough for like a highway. Like I think it's like 100.
Cybertruck is strong.
But like no, the thing about the
150.
Cybertruck, like who's the demographic for it? Like, boom! Yeah. But see, like, does that make sense? But like, just because there's a demographic for something like that. But like the
Yeah.
Cybertruck, usually trucks are for people that are like working, like
Yeah,
workers.
That's what I mean. Like it's still the Mercedes thing is still futuristic, but it's not like to the point where I would say, "Oh, what the hell is it?" Like that
Yeah.
is way too out of
No, but like
thanks.
people that like technology sort of stuff would want to buy that. But the Cybertruck's meant for like a working person because that's generally what trucks are for.
Yeah.
And a working person doesn't give a shit about like some cool like
Well,
futuristic thing. They want just
honestly-
a functional truck.
9 times out of 10, a person that wants a truck wants good old gasoline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're traditional.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, nobody's gonna be like, I can't wait for my Cybertruck for when I go hunting in the wilderness. Like nobody's gonna do that, and that's
Yeah.
like it's not like it's a marketing failure. It's just like
It's
we're
there's
not there yet.
There's no demographic for that.
Yeah.
Who no? It's not for anyone.
Yeah,
Other than some person just like, oh, that's cool and futuristic. I'll get it just because.
Yeah.
But not because like they probably won't need a truck. Like it's
a
there's
truck.
not really the demographic. I would say is very small for it, and that's why I don't know it'll do well.
the
Because of
truck
that.
made for the
It's for the apocalypse.
people that live in Los Angeles
Yeah.
who don't really want an F-150. They just
That
want
truck
something.
won't even fit in Los Angeles. That thing's
Dude, that
huge.
truck
Have you
is
seen it on
actually
the road? I've seen a few videos.
That
Where it's
truck's
just like-
actually huge.
It's like bowling down the highway, and it's
Yeah.
just like,
It's
oh,
like a
damn.
small monster truck.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
How much does it cost?
It's pretty.
Did they even announce?
I think it starts at like 45 and the max is like 75,000.
Really? That's not that bad of a price. I was thinking
Wait,
it'd be
for
like I
other-
thought it was in the 100,000 area.
Wait, that's
thought that.
literally like what every other truck is. 45 to 75.
That's not bad.
That's like every other
It
truck.
has better range.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean,
And better horsepower.
yeah, it's pretty strong.
Yeah, why-
Yeah, for most trucks, yeah.
It like went head to head with the one. I
Yeah.
forget what it was, but it like. He just pulled
There's
it.
this one guy on YouTube that made a small Cybertruck and he was driving it around. I forget what his YouTube channel was, but he like made one. It took him like a week, and then he drove around his like city with it. It was pretty cool.
That's so funny. But yeah, the Ford Bronco should do okay if you're into that kind of thing.
Not bad.
I mean, like with like a lot of Ford kind of cars and stuff.
Yeah.
which is, like,
But the
vehicles,
Ford-
a lot of Ford owners would be interested in that kind of car
Yeah.
too.
So it's listed as an SUV, or what? What
I
is
think
it?
it's an SUV.
What's it look
Is it?
like exactly? Like I'm gonna.
It kind of looks. It's like similar to like a Jeep Wrangler in a way,
Okay.
but it's like
Not the front, no.
yeah, not the front.
But like
It's
everything else looks, yeah.
I mean,
It's
like the
kinda
front
like-
is
it's
just
weird.
like Ford's own like twist.
Oh,
it just
okay.
says like Yeah.
Yeah, right. But you know what I
actually
mean?
like
Like
it.
it's
Yeah.
kind
It
of like
looks okay.
it's kind of like reinventing a new.
Look some more.
You
Yeah.
like take the doors off and stuff.
Look
And
some more.
I guess
Like some other.
different colors. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's
It kind of looks like this kind of thing you'd take on a safari.
yeah.
But
That's
I
what I'm
wouldn't-
thinking.
I
Like, it's
wouldn't.
like,
I wouldn't drive it. You know, like
Drive it to work.
I couldn't justify. Yeah, driving it to work, or
Why
driving through a drive-through.
It looks like it just belongs in the outback.
Yeah, right. Or like, I'm Australian. I'm on 90% dirt roads a day.
Yeah.
That's why I had to buy my Ford Bronco.
yeah. That's another thing. I don't know who would buy. Like, I don't know who would be
Run it
interested
on
in
low
buying
battery.
something like that.
It's in low battery.
That's fine.
bruh.
Bruh.
We're gonna fight through it. No, it's just the.
But I think another interesting thing is like, do you know most people that buy trucks is just America? Most countries don't buy trucks at all. It's just like a mainly an American thing,
Yeah.
which I think is interesting.
Like big.
Well,
things.
think about the
Yeah.
brands.
Yeah,
Oh,
most of them
France
are
really
American.
made
Like,
Yeah.
Ford.
well, yeah,
Chevy.
that's true.
Although Toyota's
Toyota's
Japanese.
trucks.
Yeah.
Honda's, I think, also
Yeah,
Japanese.
I like-
If you drive a Honda
I like
truck,
the
you need to
Toyota
just.
Honda has trucks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks
dude,
ugly.
they're ugly.
It's ugly.
They're super. They're bad, dude. I
Really?
can't.
Honda truck.
I
Well,
like
it's because it's
Toyota
not meant.
Tacomas.
It's meant for Americans. They don't know what Americans are like. That's the problem.
I mean, yeah, like Toyotas don't have a lot of trucks.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Subarus, do Subarus have any trucks?
No.
No.
Yeah.
I saw a Cadillac truck. Have you ever seen that?
Dude, have you
No.
seen a?
It was
Lambo
weird.
Lambo
Have you seen that
truck.
Lambo
Lambo
truck? The
truck.
Bentley truck?
Lambo truck, man. Got a Lambo truck.
My Lamborghini truck.
My Mercedes
Maserati
truck.
truck.
It's like it's like the G wagon. They call it the truck.
Did you see? Wait, did you actually see that Bugatti truck though?
Bugatti would never make it ever.
You see that Rolls Royce truck?
They just I was talking to you about the Lotus. The back of it is meant to look like afterburners, like for like a jet engine.
Hmm.
Wow.
Even though
Is
it's
this
like
like a
it's like
sedan?
electric. What?
Is this like a sedan?
I think it's
No,
a
it's
coupe.
a supercar coupe. Yeah, but it's like it's the weirdest freaking design you'll ever see in your entire life. Not the front. The front looks amazing, but the back is like a rectangle, and it's like open where the lights are. It's
Better
so
than
weird.
a Cybertruck.
Bet on a Cybertruck. This has 2,000 horsepower.
Cybertruck is gonna win.
Nope.
It's gonna crush it.
It'll literally actually go over.
Yeah. No, the Lotus is like locked and loaded for the freaking racetrack.
It's kind of a weird name for.
I think that's the brand. Lotus,
Yeah,
and then it's like Evelia or something.
I never heard of Lotus before.
Yeah, it's
It
foreign.
must be poop. If
Oh, that's
you
pretty
never
Wow.
good.
heard of it.
Big.
It's not bad.
Yeah, okay.
Just because you haven't heard about it.
It was a
Uh.
joke.
So what do you guys think about the NVIDIA came out with a new graphics card lineup?
Yes.
The 30s. What do you think about that? Those are like intense. What's like
I know nothing about it.
8K with 60
Really
FPS?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's intense. What do you think about that?
8K.
The 3070 that's coming out is better than the 2080 Super, which costs like $1,500,
Yeah.
and it only costs $500.
Yeah.
So
And then-
what? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
$500?
They're using
37.
these graphics cards for intensive video editing, right? These are not meant for gaming, right?
No. You
both.
can, but like I mean, come on. What do you need? 8K, 60 FPS. Like that's
Yeah.
intense. Like what do you
to
what
see
kind of
the
games
game.
do you
Wait,
play?
so I couldn't even imagine how much like RAM you would need, or like your other components in your computer have to be
They should be. It's fine.
no. Wouldn't they have to be like
You load the game, boom.
like you couldn't do that with an i5?
No.
You know,
No. Yeah. You
you
need.
need an i9.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, just for high-end games, like the
Yeah.
top one, I think the 3090
It's
is
like
like 1500.
Yeah.
So like, obviously, this is not for some standard like you and me game. This is for probably like high-end gamers,
Yeah.
or for like high-end.
So
video
yeah, do they use these for like?
game.
That's what I mean.
I
Like
don't
for
know.
the next like shows on Netflix and movies. Are they gonna be in like these
I don't,
like
I
8K?
don't think they do that. I don't think they,
What do you mean?
they don't use that to like film and stuff.
No, not to film. They do like intensive video editing
Well, no, editing.
to use these things.
It's not really like all graphics card. It's more like I think CPU and RAM for editing
Yeah.
than graphics card.
Yeah, but like they still like to edit in 8K. Why are you laughing? What?
Graphics
I
card
don't
like
even know.
Why are you laughing?
I was just looking at Kavon.
I think
What?
more gamers will use graphic cards. That are
Oh,
coming
yeah.
out now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean obviously,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about like the resolution you like watch TV on.
Like 4K or 8K. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but now you can watch in 8K. That's what I'm asking.
Well, they have 8K monitors and
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much does an 8K monitor cost?
Probably a lot.
2,000 probably.
That's too
Oh
much.
shit.
Yeah.
You can
But-
buy a whole PC for that.
I mean, it's the type of thing. It's because it's new.
Yeah.
Literally, in a couple years, like these graphics card now, a couple years it'll be like super cheap. It won't even matter. And they'll be like even more higher end.
But you don't need a good graphics card to watch something in 8K.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no. I know. You need
He means like video.
you need a
editing,
good
like,
you need a
edit.
good graphics card to produce something in 8K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously, like high end stuff will be doing that, but they probably don't even use Nvidia. Nvidia is more for gamers, I would say, for the most part. There's some other brand they would use.
They only showcase games. Like
Yeah.
they play Doom at 4K at 120 FPS, so
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's what I'm getting.
Once again, if I had that much money,
Are you gonna get a
I would just
4K
put it in a
monitor?
Tesla.
Maybe.
And also, when they
Tesla?
did the Nvidia thing, if you buy the new 30 series, they're giving you a free 1-year subscription to their like cloud gaming service. What do you guys think about cloud gaming?
I don't
Only if
know
you have good
what-
Wi-Fi. You
Yeah.
have to have good
I
Wi-Fi.
don't know what cloud. I don't
So
know
essentially,
what
what cloud gaming is
No Cloud9.
like, so basically you can play a game on your phone. It goes, they have a computer that the game runs
Is this
on,
like,
and they
Google-
stream it to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's like
stream- yeah,
Google
stream it.
Stadia. It's essentially like that. Like, you don't need any good software. All you need is an internet connection. You can play like,
But that's pretty good.
yeah,
Internet connection.
yeah.
Well, I mean, with the
Like, really
introduction
good
of
or just-
5G.
That's than something like Netflix.
I'd rather just not do that and play the video.
Yeah,
games
obviously.
without buying it.
Yeah, but
Do you think Do you think it'll be the future, or do you think it's just some gimmick?
I
Just
don't
something
think
that's
so.
kind of I don't think it ever will be either.
It's hard to say, because like there's a lot of people in like foreign nations that would like. I could see go crazy for that sort of thing if they had
Yeah.
like really good Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
They'd just be like, "Bam,
Yeah.
that's all I need."
That's true.
I don't know. We'll see.
What about like? Do you have an account on it, so if you travel somewhere, you can still use
Yeah,
it?
it's a-
Yeah, it's essentially what their idea is. You can literally play, like I was talking about before, you could just like play a game like Destiny 2 on your phone. You just need a controller, you just connect and you could play on your phone and it would work, or like various
That's kinda-
other
that's kinda
games
cool,
it would work
playing
for,
on-
yeah.
It's like playing on the go.
Yeah. Which is an
In an
interesting...
airplane.
Yeah,
That
like
would not work.
you could... I mean, airplane, I don't know what kind of Wi-Fi you're getting on the
Yeah.
airplane,
I
but...
mean, in the future, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like, I mean, do you think there is a future to something like that, or do you just think it's some
Yeah.
throwaway, gimmicky thing? What do you think? Do you think people would actually...
I definitely think the technology has to evolve around it.
significantly more, yeah.
Like it's not. Yeah.
I don't know. I think similar to something like VR, where it's a cool idea.
I'll never
Right.
try VR.
I think VR will get better in the future
Eh,
with better
VR
technology.
VR will just get so real. It'll just be like
yeah,
It'll
Your
become
new
reality.
life.
yeah.
What
you
was
won't,
the
you
one
won't
where
be
you,
able
like,
to
swing it-
distinguish
swing it
what's
forward?
different.
Beat Saber.
anymore.
Beat Saber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Instead of working out, you can just do that all
Yeah.
day.
I sweat a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, if you sweat playing Minecraft, you definitely will sweat playing that.
That's because I'm hot. This
It's
is
'cause you,
I'm
like-
moving.
You're nervous
I'm ready.
Ready?
for a wild adventure.
But you know who's ready? The girl that got fucking pegged in the ass by a horse.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
That's a fun pastime to do.
I don't know if I. Yeah.
That's so disgusting.
I think that's the end of the topic. We don't need to. We don't
No,
need
I
to
think
dive too
this is a
deep.
good
into it.
topic.
What about
Yeah.
Whitney Houston, the girl that a dog licked a pussy?
Okay, no, we're moving. No more of that. No more of that.
Licked
What do you? What?
Yeah, she put. I think she like put peanut butter in it or
Yeah.
something.
Who did?
This girl.
Her name was like Whitney something.
You said Whitney Houston. I
I-
thought you were talking about like.
Dude, we're moving on from this. No more of this. No. We're done with this. What do you guys think about, like, TLC has a show called Dr. Pimple Popper, and like, what do you think about the whole thing around people liking popping pimples?
That's
I like think
disgusting.
It's
nasty.
definitely
I
it's
feel
a
like enjoy-
I know
psychology
people
experiment.
that are like
Yeah.
that.
It is an underlying psychology experiment for those because some people can't stand it.
Yeah, I think it's just
Some people can stand it but don't prefer it, and then
don't
there's some
care.
people that literally tune in specifically so that they can watch someone else's like 10-pound lip node get removed from their skull that they've had for 48 years that they're finally ready to get rid of because their grandson or whatever keeps touching it.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's also those kind of people that like just like to watch videos of people popping a cyst or something. It's like
That's
I mean
gross.
it's interesting. It's like oh wow,
Yeah.
what's
What do you
A
find?
human
giant
deformity.
cyst?
Yeah, like that's like a
And then
health
it's
or
just popping.
abnormality. I would not want to deal. Like I would want to look at it and be like, look, that's amazing. I'd just be like,
yeah,
Go
and
and do what
obviously
you want. I don't-
pimples are just like the same thing but just on a much smaller scale.
I think it's hilarious. Like,
oh,
dude, they got like the.
come on.
Dude, it's
Burp?
just a burp.
so Ben, you said you actually like watching that. Like, what's
I think it's kind of interesting. I mean, like I've seen a couple episodes and they removed like I don't know like a 5-pound what are they called like a blob of excess fat from somebody's arm
yeah.
and it like fills up like one of those hospital pans. It's just
Well, how is that enjoyable?
The
it's not-
dialogue.
Interesting.
It's
The
not-
dialogue is
Great
so
stuff like
funny because they're like,
She's
wow.
floating over here.
It's like look at this,
It's disgusting.
That's what
and they're like playing in it like it's a bin of Play-Doh, and it's like, oh look.
like this doesn't sound like it's like that professional.
What can we
thing.
shape out of
Sounds
this?
like a
pimple?
comedy.
Well, just think about it.
well then
It's just a big old pimple.
and then it's kind of neat to see like these people have these like huge like cysts and stuff, and they after she's done with them like they look they look better like
Yeah, like brand new.
it's like brand new, like completely gone, and just
Yeah.
seeing how these people, like something like a cyst, you wouldn't think like it's life changing, but
Mhm.
I mean there's a guy he had a like a thing of like a bump on his back full of fluid,
Mhm.
and the first time they drained it, it was like a liter of fluid in his back.
Oh man.
Like they filled up 33 syringes full of fluid. And the second time he came back, it was just as big. And she's like, I can't drain this because, I just keep draining it. And there's a vacuum, like a place in his back where this fluid will just fill and fill and fill. And it's just kind of interesting because you never think about that. Like,
Yeah.
you never think somebody could have, like, a liter-sized, like, cyst on their back that... Like just
That'd
see,
be awful to like drive or
Yeah.
like. Oh my
Oh.
god.
and then
on
like
your back.
you wouldn't think like something like a cyst or a keloid would be like life changing, but to some of these people, I mean, it is. Like I watched an episode, some guy took over his family business as a mechanic,
Yeah.
and he was stuck doing computer work because he couldn't bend down because he had a huge cyst on his leg, and he wanted to be a mechanic, but he couldn't. So he got it removed, and he got to fulfill his dream of being a mechanic.
Yeah, that's like. I mean, I guess I can kind of see it like the storyboard, like kind of.
Yeah.
Cinderella story at the end, like, oh, I finally removed my life-changing, like,
Well, it's-
wart.
It's weird too because like Dr. Sandra Lee, who is Dr. Pimple Popper,
Yeah.
she's like the nicest person ever. Like
Yeah.
I just like really pleasant.
But
And-
I gotta be honest, like, if I were her, like, no offense, but how do you not throw up?
yeah.
Like,
Some people
Some
I mean-
people find it interesting. Like slightly in the same topic. Like I've always thought it was interesting watching like documentaries and stuff of people with like weird conditions.
Okay, so you were saying that you enjoy, or not that you enjoy, but you, like, saw, like, the interesting, like, human deformities or whatever, and that's, like, kind of similar.
Because I remember like my mom, she's always been into that kind of stuff. So then like growing up, I've just like seen her watching that kind of stuff. So I guess I kind of grew
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got used to it. I
It's just
guess.
like, yeah.
And then like I would see people with like abnormally large tumors and stuff.
Yeah.
I saw this one guy who was like bedridden from this massive tumor, almost the size of a bed, and he got it removed, and like he still was in a wheelchair, because like it was so big and it took over like one leg, like that leg was just kind of done.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've
It's
always
still much a better life for me.
I've always enjoyed watching stuff like that because it makes you like appreciate things more. Like you think it's bad for you, and then you
Yeah.
see something so bad that you're like,
Maybe we have like
okay.
some like things we find annoying with ourselves, but like it's much better than a life like that.
yeah, definitely. There's a lot of things that makes you appreciate things.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about TLC in general? Doing all kind of like making shows and like on very weird topics like My Strange Addiction and just putting a spotlight on
interesting.
people having weird like all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff like that. Like there was like my 600-pound life and like in a way they're kind of just like subtly making fun of people in a way by showing like what do you guys think about something like that?
Yeah.
I like My Strange Addiction. That's pretty
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
interesting things, but they
He's
also
in love
like
with his car.
Yeah.
There's this one girl who's like obsessed with like planes,
hmm
and like she's got this metal plane that she literally like has a name for, and she literally loves it.
Yeah.
Like it's just like her husband.
No, I saw one where the guy was like, he had like sexual relations with like balloons. And he's like, I not only enjoy making the balloons, but I'm physically attracted in the sexual sense to the balloons. And he was like holding it against his like crotch. And it was like, this can't be worth my time. This cannot. Clearly, a hurricane that's decimating India right now is more important than watching this balloon guy.
I mean,
Like, like it was nasty. I hated it.
I think to an extent to this stuff, like maybe they do have some strange thing, but obviously it's a show, so TLC is
Yeah.
gonna make it more interesting.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know how real it is because it is a show. Like
It's
anything
just
you see on TV, it's not real. Like
Isn't-
anything, everything's
The
staged.
one
to an
where a
extent.
girl like drank pee every day, wasn't that one of them?
Oh god.
Oh, there was one where there's someone's
Bear
obsessed
Grylls?
with coffee
What?
Bear
enemas.
Grylls.
They'd have enemas like
No.
6 times a day, and it was coffee enemas. So essentially, like giving that much so when you have something go up your butt instead of drinking it, it's a lot more intensified.
Yeah, more potent.
So for all
Like
of that
drinking
caffeine
alcohol.
going up, it would be intense.
Didn't you like die from
I
that?
don't feel weird.
Yeah, I mean it's dangerous. It's
You can
not
die
good
from
for you.
doing,
Yeah,
like,
it's
alcohol.
very bad for you. Like I would not recommend doing 6 coffee enemas a day.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
That's
but
horrible.
Or
that's
you-
an addiction.
You guys ever see that Cheapskate show on TLC? It's like cheap people, like people,
Yeah. Yeah.
like some of the stuff that they do is crazy. Like I saw this one episode. This woman like, she went to the dentist and like her tooth was hurting, and the guy's like, I can give you a root canal, and she's like, well, how much is it gonna cost? And he's like, $1,800, and she's like, well, how much would it cost if you pulled the tooth? And he's like, $185. And then she's like, you think it'd be cheaper if I did it with anesthetic? And he's like, I would not recommend that. So she literally like bought a tool from like a yard sale and had her husband do it in her living room.
Like without anesthesia or anything?
No, they used some kind of like weird over-the-counter paste that they put on her gum, but her husband like literally just yanked her tooth out.
That's so like unnecessary.
And like she had like skin tags. So what they do is they duct tape a towel to the end of a fire extinguisher, and the fire extinguisher contents, I guess, are like comparable to dry ice.
Yeah.
So he would take a pair of tweezers and pick up this dry ice quotation marks and put it on her skin and like burn these warts off. And she's like, I saved like $2,000 a year on medical expenses.
Well,
And I'm like, is it worth it?
yeah. Your body is a living
It's like a
experiment.
big risk every single time.
Yeah.
It's like, heck, you look like you're dressed
Does
up
she
for
have any
Halloween
problems,
365
like,
days of the
after?
year.
It hurt, and I think it left like scars or something. But I just
Hey,
some of the things they do. I mean,
at
they
least
had.
you can afford that boat.
I mean, like I literally like I saw this episode. There was this guy,
Boat.
and they'd go to a diner and they'd order a club sandwich for like 6 people and all share a club sandwich. And like they do the diner hack where they get water and they order extra lemons and they mix the lemons and the sugar to make homemade lemonade without ordering lemonade because water's free.
Yeah.
But he would take like a ton of creamers and he'd have his daughter like pour all these creamers in a water bottle and shake it for 15 minutes and make butter. So they didn't have to buy butter from the store.
That's so, like, unnecessary.
Like he did so much stuff. Like he had a timer on the fridge, and the kids were only allowed to open the fridge once a day for 25 seconds. And
It just, like, gets to the point where it's, like, taking over your life.
and, like it's just crazy. Like he had a hack of his where he would take he would like tell the person at the car wash, like, hey, my wife dropped her earring in the vacuum cleaner, and get him to open the vacuum cleaner, he'd have his kids rummage through there and pick up, like, jewelry, change, stuff like that. And then he'd, like, wait for the attendant to look the other way and drop an earring in there and be like, oh, I found it.
Wow.
And, like, he made extra money that, and I'm like, that's not worth it. Like,
yeah. You're a literal scumbag.
you're a literal scumbag. I mean, he'd pour cheap beer in premium beer bottles and then seal it back up. My favorite, right? He'd save water bottles, like the plastic water bottles,
Yeah.
fill them up with a garden hose, and then put clear nail polish around the rim, so you got that signature cracking, like when you crack open a bottle of water, like breaking the seal.
It's so
That's not
unnecessary.
illegal.
I don't know. It's like, his kids were like, yeah, it's really embarrassing because their dad just like, he'll be like, can we get a box? And he'll just dump like sugar, Splenda. He's got a station in a garage where he like does all this stuff, like takes ketchup packets and like, you know, like puts them in an empty ketchup bottle, and
Fresh squeezes.
that's just insane. Like,
What's the father's job? Like, what's he do? I guess it depends. Like, what's his job?
I don't know. It didn't really say what he did, but I mean, he
doesn't
makes.
even get into that.
I mean, he makes decent money though. I mean, I don't know. He drove like a brand new minivan and everything. That and he would his barbecues. He had barbecues, and his grill was sticks and newspaper in a flower pot. And he'd grill burgers, and he's like, you only
That's
get
really
half a
ghetto.
piece of cheese on your burger.
Oh my gosh.
That's beyond.
Why do you need to
unnecessary.
save
Hood rat.
cheese? I don't
Hood-
understand.
Hood rat.
Cheese gets old and moldy. Why do you need it?
That's okay. Well, I think that's a good place to kind of wrap things up. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Lil Grain of Bryce. Tune in next week. We're thinking about doing this about twice a week, and this amount of time seems to be what we're aiming for. So, thanks for joining us. Peace out.
Boom.
Have a good day. Don't hit me in the face.